YouTube, this is Total War Seraphim bringing you the finals of the TRU tournament. Today we'll be having two great players play one another. We have Babykiller playing as a Suebi, and we have Yawningfirefly playing as Rome. So let's jump right on into this. So here we can see the build of Yawningfirefly. Out here on the right flank, we have a Vigile, a Legionary Cohort, Sakyai Equite, two Sakyai Equite, Principes, Vigiles, Evocati Cohort, Equites, Evocati Cohort, Equites, Legatus for the General, Evocati Cohort, Equites, Evocati Cohort, Vigiles for the meat shields up front, another Vigile, Principe, and a Legionary Cohort with two Sakyai Equites for the left flank. For Babykiller, the Suebis, we have the Germanic Scout Riders, Germanic Slingers, Wodenaz Spears, Sword Masters, Cimbri Bow Women, Bloodsworn, Spear Levy, Bloodsworn, Spear Levy, Swordmaster General, Bloodsworn, Swordmasters, Spear Levy, another Spear Levy, a Bloodsworn, Swordmasters, Germanic Slingers, Wodenaz Spears, Cimbri Bow Women, and Germanic Scout Riders. So the decisive skirmish advantage goes to the Suebi, and I believe that in Yawningfirefly's case, the best tactic here is going to be to get into battle quick. Also, the Suebi have the fast charge ability with the general, and quite frankly, that can be devastating when timed properly, especially against the Romans. And the Bloodsworn have a bonus versus infantry, I believe. And that can be absolutely devastating if they get their charges in, and it's just the nature of trying to stop that charge as quickly as you possibly can. So we have the two armies advancing in on each other. I love these close-ups. I love looking at the units. These skirmishers can really do a lot of damage if they're given time to, and they will trade extremely well with other skirmishers. They do an amazing amount of damage, and so I believe it's very smart that Yawningfirefly didn't even try to, didn't waste any money bringing skirmishers in an attempt to stand toe-to-toe with them. It's just not going to be cost-effective. It's not going to be useful, and it really isn't going to do much. Instead, you can see him already moving the Vigiles out here to counter the Germanic Scout Riders, and the Germanic Scout Riders are going to be able to lay down some fire, and unfortunately the Vigiles do not have precursor javelins, but if there's a unit you want them to waste their ammo on, it's definitely the Vigiles. And also the Vigiles can also be useful as meat shields if you want to kind of stuff the advance, the charge of the Suebi as they try to burst right through into your more expensive units, your more expensive Roman units. Yawningfirefly has taken a very wide stance here. And I think he expects to charge, and as such, you can see he's getting closer and closer and closer. He doesn't want to. It's a matter of timing. He doesn't want to sit here and trade, let the arrow fire and the sling stones hit his men too badly and damage them too badly. But at the same time, it takes time to issue the specific attack orders, and in doing so, you give the slingers and archers more time to target your units. So here they are opening up on the Vigiles, opening up on the meat shields, and I can see in certain instances this might be smart, but not in this particular instance. So Yawningfirefly brings in this cavalry charge in order to pin down these units and the spear levy. So here we have fast charge being popped, and unfortunately it's not gonna do very much good in this instance because all the cavalry has tied down the units already, allowing his more expensive Evocati cohorts to now join the fight in that kind of tanky way that the Roman legionaries fight best. The Suebi are now going to have to crush their way through armor, and they're not going to get that clean charge that they really need. Out here on the right flank, we can see the Equites moving around, trying to get after these skirmishers, which is a very good target. You don't want them targeting, and you definitely don't want them left until late game where they can really do some damage. Another Equites gets through here and just smashes into these Swordmasters. Always great to get a cavalry charge into those expensive units when you have a chance. The Equites have really done their job in tying down the infantry of the Suebi, of Babykiller, and immobilizing it, basically making it commit to the battle. Here the dramatic scout riders are taking some pot shots at the Roman cavalry, and there really isn't much you can do with the Roman cavalry in those instances except maybe chase them off and then do exactly what Yawningfirefly is doing and bringing them right back into the fray in order to get rid of those Germanic skirmishers. So again, here you see the Legatus doing what it does best, supporting the battle, not really joining the fray too much. He's very cautious with his general, Yawningfirefly is, and I like this very much too, because he'll move the general occasionally up and down the line in order to help support his units, but he pulls them out, as he is right now, before they can take too much damage, before he might lose them. So across the flanks here, the Yawningfirefly seems to be holding pretty well. Again, trying to chase off the skirmisher cav as he comes behind. But you can see a lot of his infantry is starting to fail, and so he brings in another Equite charge here against the Swordmasters. And he even brings his general back into the fray against his Bloodsworn, which are really not going to like being charged. So Yawningfirefly pops presence, and that quells the units that were about to break and forces them back into the fight. The skirmisher cav has worked its way around and is taking shots up and down the line, as you can see here, wherever it gets an opportunity to. The skirmishers themselves are firing into the back, causing some friendly fire, but also causing fire to the Roman units. The general, the Legatus, has broken through and now is being targeted by the skirmisher cav, and it's doing an excellent job in causing some damage. But now the Romans seem to be tanking it out. On this side, you can see they're starting to fold back over into the rear charges, and here comes an Equite for a rear charge on these Swordmasters, and causes an almost instant rout. Again, they cannot stand to be charged in the back, as he's doing. He has really stopped the charge of Babykiller, and he's also stymied any type of independent flank that Babykiller thought he might have been able to establish, and I think that was the intelligence of spreading the Roman line quite wide, in that it forced those engagements, and when he engaged that cavalry right down the middle, it tied up those units so that his Evocati cohort could get in there and do what they do best, which is take out damage against units that might be used in a superior way, used with fast charge in an attempt to stop them. So here we have, I believe, a Wodenaz coming into the back of this unit, and they won't like that. But at this point, Yawningfirefly seems content to reform his lines. He has the Vigiles out here leading, again, taking the ammo, allowing them to get shot at, as opposed to his more expensive units. Here comes the Dramatic Scout Riders in for a charge on the Vigile, and they will do quite well. And then Yawningfirefly countercharges with his Equites just to cause enough damage to those Scout Riders if he can potentially get them. Now here comes a Spear Levy back into support, and the Vigiles start to break. Across the line, there looks like there seems to be Flaming Shot being poured in. I'm not quite sure of its use in that it lowers morale, but I wouldn't believe that the Romans are losing at this point, so I don't know if it'd be terribly effective. Maybe it was just an accident. The Vigiles are going to get in here again and stop the charge, which is their only importance, being meat shields or speed bumps or what have you. Now the Evocati is coming back in here, folding back in, and it's going to cause real damage. He's got them in cleanly and not taking too much damage in doing so. The general's still alive, and he is moving him all across the line, supporting his units as he goes. The Equites are being redirected around this side to bring a charge in that instantly routs the other unit. Here we have the Cimbri bowwomen that are now stuck in melee. They might have gotten too close. And they're not going to hold up. The Vigiles are taking them on. Another cav charge in here will do a lot of damage. He pulled his Evocati out, perhaps just to get another charge. Now he's got his Legatus in here, and the Legatus, including the Evocati, is going to be charged in a last-ditch effort by Babykiller as he brings in his Dramatic Scout Riders. At this point, obviously, there isn't a terrible lot he can do. He's got a Swordmaster left here, and he's got another Swordmaster General left, and if he can manage not to get rear charged, he might be able to take it. But now the units are getting ganged up on by this free Avocati in the background. The Germanic Slinger is still firing in here, causing some friendly fire damage and possibly lowering the morale of both sides. Here comes the Equites again into the Germanic Scout Riders. The Scout Riders aren't going to stand up in melee for very long. They're very effective, but in this close quarters and when they're this fatigued, I doubt they're going to last very long. The Swordmasters themselves are fatigued and are slowly losing that battle to the Romans. And I believe the Slinger Fire in here is probably doing more damage to them, but he just doesn't have time to reposition that Slinger so that he can get rear shots or flank shots. So here we see the General for Babykiller starting to break. As he does so, he seems like he might be on the verge of taking out another Roman unit, but this Avocati over here is holding steady, as is the General, and they're causing basically a chain rout as they slowly start to destroy each unit. And here we have the Suebi break. And that was an excellent game. I love that cavalry charge right down the middle. Now, if we take a look, the Swordmasters do fairly well. I did notice this Germanic Slinger had 0 kills, and I believe that's the one that got charged by cavalry. There were some Swordmasters, 273 kills for Babykiller. The cohorts themselves, 259, 249, 99, 193, 141, 61. Amazing amount of kills. Vigiles, of course, doing their job, just getting in the way and being a general nuisance, stopping the charge. The Equites also doing their job, just getting in the way. So I just want to say this was a wonderful game, and I had a lot of fun watching it. And I want to thank both contestants, both Babykiller and Yawningfirefly. You guys really are truly the champions, and Yawningfirefly, you are the champ. So I just want to say thank you very much for playing in the TRU tournament, and I really appreciate it. This is Total War Seraphim signing off.